Hi there! I hope you are doing well. I'm Kalimbetova Aygul, TOEFL junior student in Sulaiman Demirel University. The main reason why I'm recording this video right now, I want to share with you the interesting and useful results of my research paper. Let's start! Choosing the profession is one of the main stages for everyone, for me as well. Some are based on interest or influenced by something. For example, I have chosen this profession due to my interest and desire to learn languages. What about you, my dear friends? How did you come to this choice of profession, or who influenced you to choose it? Leave any comments below about your choice. So every time when I attend my lectures or do my projects, I wondered, could I apply all of them in my real teaching, or is it enough to work after graduation? Uh, because every year in our faculty graduates about 150 students, so I was interested, do they work in their specialty in which they studied in SDU, or were they satisfied with the theoretical and the practical knowledge that they gained in SDU? And to find answers to all of these issues, problems, I related my issue with my project work, with my research paper. During the video, I'm going to talk about my purpose of the study, research questions, hypothesis, literature review, my participants, research method and the instruments, research stages, results and findings, then conclusion. The purpose of the study are to describe the usefulness of gained theoretical knowledge in SDU, to identify the most common problems that exist in professional teaching time, to identify the applicability of theoretical knowledge gained by TOEFL graduated students in SDU for their actual teaching. During my research paper, I tried to answer these questions. To what extent the gained knowledge is useful to SDU graduate students for their personal and professional development? What are the most common challenges that they face in their actual teaching? And what educational models should be changed in order to increase the effectiveness of teaching strategies in SDU? Hypothesis. Before I started my research paper, I wrote my hypothesis, and that there was that theoretical knowledge gained in SDU for TOEFL is sufficient for professional teaching life, and they know how to apply their theoretical framework in practice. My hypothesis was that theoretical knowledge gained in SDU for TOEFL is sufficient for professional teaching life, and they know how to apply their theoretical framework in practice. The most difficult part of my research paper was to find relevant articles to my topic, but finally I found and I used these articles and books. My literature review includes definition of theory and the practice from different authors' perspective, the relationship between theory and the practice in the teaching field, and subjects that must include every teacher preparation curriculum. I used mixed method. For qualitative method, I prepared interview questions that consist of 8 open-ended questions and lasted 20 minutes. For quantitative method, I choose the questionnaire that consists of 19 questions and lasted for 10-15 minutes. My participants. There are 20 participants who have already graduated and the senior students from our TOEFL. 90% of them were familiar participants, 10 of them male participants, 12 participants are working in their field nowadays, 7 of them continuing their master's degree, and the one participant said that she changes her job field. Research stages. The first stage was to finding and analyzing all the articles that related to my topic, then choosing the method, preparing the questionnaire and interview questions, share questionnaire and the contact with participants who left the agreement to participate in the interview. collecting the responses and analyzing them, and after all, summing all of the answers and describe them in the discussion part. Results and findings. So, in my questionnaire, I asked from participants were they satisfied with theoretical knowledge that gained in SDU, and according to their responses, 80% of them were satisfied but sometimes had problems. 10 of them strongly agreed, 5% of them partly satisfied, and 5% of them said that no, they weren't satisfied. And the half problems, there were second language, pedagogical internship, administration, special secretaries, price of education in our faculty, and some weak professors. So according to the responses, I found some useful courses and failed courses. So for useful courses includes courses such as academic writing, public speaking, IRAL, TL, psychology, pedagogy, and ICT. So from their perspectives, courses such methodology and pedagogy. This subject is the most relevant and it corresponds to the current teaching in Kazakhstan and still useful in their teaching time. Also, they help them to find individual approaches for every student in the classroom. Academic writing and the IRAL give an opportunity to go further, write scientific reports, articles, and above all, to apply master degree and the Doctor of Philosophy. Courses such as psychology, TL, drama were and still do not lose their usefulness and effectiveness in their professional and personal life. Because of these courses, they implement all strategies such as using repetition, catchy songs, storytelling, games, and provide productive, interesting, and miscellaneous lessons. So, the course ICT enriches their knowledge in technology. Nowadays, it helps them have creative and productive lessons. Overall, they claim that they are glad that they have learned not just to pass the test, but were able to apply them in real practice. They realized that this is not just written theory, but nowadays the foundation for which they rely on, and it really works with their students. The list of the most unsuccessful or failed courses include courses such as second language and pedagogy internship. From their perspectives, second language teachers' teaching model demotivate them, and only those who did self-study could effectively master their second languages. The second course is pedagogical internship. The reason for their dissatisfaction was lack of enough experiences, waste of time, and lack of monetary support. So also, according to their response, I could find some challenges that they faced during the teaching time. There are assessment, discipline, and interaction. Assessment, they thought that it's hard to evaluate students' attitudes and tasks, especially writing tasks. Then, discipline and interaction. Work with well-behaved, curious, and active students significantly differ from bad-behaved and lazy students. They claim that always have a good relationship with students, find the right approach to all of them, motivate them, and react correctly in different situations, also hard and complicated part in the classroom. Then I asked them, what do you want to change in our faculty? So their response were, adding lectures or disciplines where attention is drawn to the preparation of future students for the Kazakh classroom, which focus on our realities. Give an opportunity for our professors have an internship abroad. Expand the number of well-qualified teachers in pedagogy. Then they think that it will be better if our professors provide with more practice and theory. Then increase the quality of administration service. In conclusion, happy to say that I was able to describe the usefulness of theoretical knowledge in SDU, to identify the most common challenges and the problems that exist in the professional teaching time, and then identify the applicability of theoretical knowledge gained by TOEFL graduated students in SDU for their real teaching time, for their professional time, for their personal life. And by answering to my research questions, I was able to find common challenges in teaching time and some aspects in TOEFL that needs changes. If you remember, I mentioned about my hypothesis. So my hypothesis successfully approved. Recommendation from Aygul Kalimbetova. My dear friend, if you're also interested in this topic, I recommend you to involve as more participants as possible to gain more specific answers. Add more subject into TOEFL curriculum. Analyze and, if it necessary, work on the challenges to prevent them in the future. And conduct your questionnaires, your interviews with TOEFL professors and with TOEFL graduated students who works in different specialties. I just want to wish you good luck. My dear friend, thank you for your attention. And if you are still here, I invite you to read my whole paper in introduction. If you remember, I said that I prepared 19 questions for questionnaire and 8 questions for the interview questions. So you can find them, read their answers and the wishes for you.